Hello, everyone. It's Teacher April again, and today I'm here to talk about corrections. Corrections are so important to our parents, and it is definitely our job as teachers to guide their kids to the correct pronunciation. So today I'm going to share 4 tips to help you help your students. So, tip number 1 is be picky. What I mean by this is please be picky about what you accept as correct pronunciation from your students. I know sometimes if you're a little strapped for time, it can be very tempting to accept good enough as good enough. But I can assure you, good enough is usually not good enough for our parents. They really want to see that practically perfect pronunciation from their students. So if you have time, please do your best to make sure that pronunciation is spot on. And even if it was really good to begin with, a little extra practice is definitely not going to hurt. So again, be very picky about what you accept as correct from our students, and our parents will really appreciate it. Tip number 2 is be persistent. If you hear a pronunciation error, please do your best to correct it and try as many times as you can within your time constraints to get that student to say it correctly. This can be difficult if you have 4 students, but you could perhaps have all of them practice multiple times and then go back to that student who's having some issues with the word and try again. Another strategy is to ask them later in the lesson to say that word. One of the beauty of the Magic Years lessons is that they often have that word, whatever the word is, being repeated multiple times in that lesson. So if you can, especially if you've got that student one-on-one and let's practice, try to give that word another whirl to see if they can get it. The review slide is another great place for this. That's your last chance, right, to get that student to say that word correctly. And even if they never say it correctly, the parents can see that you really have tried throughout the entire lesson to get that student to say the word correctly. So do your best, and within those time constraints, be very persistent to get the student to say the word right. And don't give up after that first attempt. So, tip number 3 is use variety. There are so many awesome strategies that I have seen that teachers have been using to try to get that student to that correct pronunciation. One strategy is repetition, right? You can ask the student to say that word multiple times or in multiple voices. This works really well if they're adding the sound to the end of a word, cat. If you ask them to say cat, 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 sometimes that will eliminate the word. Also, just saying a word multiple times can really help a student get the pronunciation down. You might try using different voices. For example, banana, 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 banana. This can pique the student's interest and again gets that repetition in there. Another strategy is to use TPR, which, is almost always the answer in the ESL world. Use TPR to help your students. For example, you could count out the syllables to a word. Banana, banana. Or you could clack the syllables. Banana, banana. You could also use some pom-poms and cheer that word. Banana, banana. This is also great if they are saying one word in a sentence wrong or if they're skipping a word. So, for example, if you're trying to get them to say, I see a ball, and they say, I see ball, you can say, I see a ball. I see a ball. Yes! So many different strategies you can try. Another strategy that I've seen in a workshop is to turn sideways and let the students see all these muscles in the face while you're saying the word. Banana. You could also get really close to the camera if you think that will help. This is really useful for words like mouth. That TH sound is really difficult for some of our students, so getting really close, having them stick out their tongue, can really help them visualize what their mouth is supposed to do. Mouth, mouth, So those are some different strategies that you can try. And kind of goes along with the being persistent. If one strategy doesn't work, try a different one. Tip number 4 is target and scaffold. So what I mean by this is try to pinpoint the exact point where that pronunciation is going wrong. For example, let's say you were trying to teach the word sad and they kept saying said instead of sad, sad. Well, the part that is going wrong there is that short A sound. So target that sound. Ah, ah. Good. Then branch out a little bit. S-a-d. S-a-d. Good. Now bring it all together. S-a-d. Sad. Yes! And then celebrate when that student gets it right. So again, target, find exactly where that word is going wrong or where that word in the sentence is going wrong and scaffold from there. Start with a couple words in the sentence and gradually get to that whole sentence or gradually get to pronouncing that entire word. The fifth tip that was kind of an extra on here is to celebrate, right? When your student finally gets that word right, please celebrate in a big way. Show them some pom-poms, give them a high five, thumbs up, trophy, whatever it is that you do to celebrate with your students. Please do that. And even if they don't get the pronunciation exactly correct, if both of you have tried really hard that entire lesson, you can definitely reward that student for trying and tell them to keep working on it and that they'll get it next time. And in your feedback, you can tell the parents that they had trouble with this word, but that they worked really hard and you would be grateful if they would work on it at home. So hopefully those tips have helped you correct your students a little better. Thank you so much for watching and happy teaching. Goodbye.